Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel right now. We're about 600 subs away from 200,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you. Trump is going to launch his 2024 campaign after the House and the Senate go Trump Republican. We're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about Twitter, Elon Musk, the diesel shortage that we face in this country, which is really unbelievable when you think about it. The greatest economy in the world facing a diesel shortage. Hit subscribe to this channel, to my super chat, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot do this without you. I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding like some people. And this is all just independent content creator, writer. I guess a bunch of things, but I just want to thank you very much for supporting this channel. If you want to talk about anything within reason via the super chat, and if you enjoy these live streams, your super chat support is greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. I want to read you right now a U.S. News and World Report article. So let's get to U.S. News and World Report. It's really interesting because you're going to have the House and the Senate go Trump Republican. Trump 2024 campaign prepares for launch. Former President Donald Trump has been teasing another presidential run since before he left the White House. But if you look, ladies and gentlemen, and Foxtrot, hello, Eric, hello, safety and happiness. You know, I have not checked my emails, and I need to do that. I don't know why I don't check the emails, but I need to. Running, hello, everybody here. JP, hello. So let's get started. I'm 95% he's going to run. Well, of course. But Trump, according to people close to him, is eager to get back into the political game. While he's been taking a bid since aides are now eyeing 2-week stretch after November 8th midterms. There's a possible window for a formal announcement. Like, he's basically already announced. But if you look, ladies and gentlemen, the 2-week stretch after the House, think about what a nightmare. Henry, hello. Gus, hello. Kristen, Eric, Law 2258. Think about what a nightmare this November will be for Democrats. Think about that for a second. They're going to lose the House, lose the Senate. Safety and happiness starting it off. HA, you are the leader of the critical thinking underground. Thank you so very much. Safety and happiness, greatly appreciated. Thank you so very, very much. Hello. I hope I'm pronouncing. I'll just say Gawang T Lama. Thank you so very much for watching in Tibet. I hope you know what? I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If you could let me know how to pronounce your name, your first name correctly, that'd be fantastic. But thank you so very much for watching in Tibet. Thank you. Safety and happiness. Thank you so very, very, very much. Always starting it off and just being so awesome. Thank you. So within the 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, within the 2 weeks that I would love to. I don't know how to pronounce your first name though. If you could let me know, I'm going to look it up how to pronounce it. But thank you so very, very much. Love trucks. Hello. Peanut the butter. Thank you so very much. Thank you. You remember that? Safety and happiness. I have to tell everybody really quickly about my Reddit experience. My experiences on Reddit. Basically, thank you so very much. Noang T Lama, hello in Tibet, and thank you for watching. Noang T Lama, thank you. Safety and happiness. Noang T Lama in Tibet, everybody here. I gotta tell you, Peanut the Butter brought up this great, story or point. I had on Reddit, I had and ask me anything. Let me see if I could find it. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is going to be so really quickly. This is like a labor of love here. So hold on one second. Hold on one second. H. Oh my god. Thank you. Peanut the butter reminding me. Watch the train wreck unfold. Controversial author. Not really. Ask me anything mega thread. This is before Democrats lost, so H.A. Goodman is doing an AMA asking. So okay, so hold on. Um so hold on one second. Where is this? So wait, where? It was really interesting. So here, ladies and gentlemen, here here is the Ask Me Anything from 6 years ago. Okay, so it was absolutely hilarious. And every single time somebody, they got upset because you endorsed Jim Webb, you endorsed Bernie Sanders, you endorsed Jill Stein, but why won't you vote for Clinton? And I'm like, well, Clinton is advised by hawks, neoconservatives. I'm not going to vote for never-ending military conflict. So they couldn't understand why somebody wouldn't vote for the Democratic nominee, and I kept talking about foreign policy, and I said, look, and you see what's going on right now. You see what's going on right now. Um, we're on the brink of let's just say ICBMs flying above, just for the YouTube policies, so so it's like I kept trying to explain to people that foreign policy was the primary reason, in addition to the fact that you had a very, very corrupt Democratic Party um, that was willing to go after its own political side. And I didn't know that Bernie was being cheated outright, but I knew that it wasn't a normal primary. So all these people would ask me these questions, and I would answer the questions. And they would keep harping on why I didn't vote for Clinton, even though she was the nominee. Like I said, the focus was on foreign policy, and we see that Trump brought back Americans from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts with the Doha Agreement. He was the first president to step foot in North Korea. Can you please explain why you believe 4 years of Trump will be worth it in order? Okay, here's a prime example. We had record low unemployment. We had a record low in poverty in 2019. We had a record high in household median income with Trump. And I knew that Trump would be far better of a president than Clinton, even though at that point I couldn't really articulate it. I was on the left, and I didn't really want to, I didn't have the courage at that point to simply say, yeah, he would be a much better president in terms of a lot of things. Or at least I didn't know that he would be such a great president, but I didn't think that he would be as bad, not nearly as bad. And he was a different type of populist than Bernie Sanders. So he was a populist, but also, um, Will, hello. Um, he had he was against the Trans-Pacific Partnership, so was Bernie Sanders. He was against never-ending military conflict, so was Bernie Sanders. He wanted to focus on economic growth, and that was alongside the belief that Bernie Sanders cared about the working class. So there was a lot of things that Trump embodied that Bernie 2016 claimed to, share or uphold. Okay? Mainly foreign policy. So can you please explain? 4 years of Trump, we had a record low in poverty in 2019. This is a fact. We had record highs in household median income. So really quickly, I want to just we had record low in poverty. So here, CNN record high household median income 2019. Okay, so really quickly, ladies and gentlemen, safety and happiness. Thank you so much to my super chat. I cannot do this without you, but this, you know what? I guess it's better late than never. I had to correct the record, which is another reason never to have voted for Clinton. Um, Median income hit a record high. So think about this for a second. Somebody writes, um, think about this, Lord. Think about this. Can you explain why you believe 4 years of Trump will be worth it in order to stop Clinton? And so I said, you look, and I had no clue that, I mean, I had no real, I couldn't predict that he would preside over such great economic numbers, but the poverty rate fell to 10.5% here. Right here, okay? The poverty rate fell to 10.5% in 2019, the lowest since records started in 1959. What did Trump do aside from ruffle the feathers of media and the establishment? What the heck did he do? What was so bad about this man? We had a great economy. Now we have a diesel shortage. Here, diesel shortage. Right here. Okay. No, the U.S. is not going to run out of diesel. Okay, well, that's different from a diesel shortage. U.S. suppliers warns businesses to prepare for shortage. We shouldn't even have a diesel shortage in the United States. We have the number one economy in the world. Only Democrats would create through their policies a diesel shortage by going after the oil and gas industry, while at the same time releasing 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves. So they want to protect the climate, but their policies caused fossil fuels and oil and gas to go up in price exponentially, or up in price, hit record highs. And then what happened was they said, okay, our energy policies are terrible, so we're going to release 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves and then beg OPEC for oil. Okay. So median income hit record highs in 2019, and the poverty rate fell to 10.5%. And we had a foreign policy with the Doha Agreement that brought Americans home. So Biden was forced to bring Americans home. And we had the first president to step foot in North Korea. Abraham Accords, which was a huge, huge achievement in the Middle East. I mean, these are great things that Trump accomplished. The only thing Biden, mashed potato brains, has accomplished is a terrible nightmare in Europe right now. That's getting worse. So, I mean, here is like, okay, so. And then I was being a bit snarky there, but then, like, I keep saying that, I kept saying that, like, I'm not going to vote for Clinton because of foreign policy. And nobody understood that. Nobody could understand that. And I said that she was not, like, she was going to lose, and I kept talking about that all throughout here. So it's like, here, I mean, it's like, and then they couldn't understand that I wouldn't vote for somebody who was cheated. So I believe this was after the DNC emails. I think that I made mention of that. But anyway, sorry to take that. Sorry to kind of focus on that right now. But yeah, I mean, it's like, thank you, Adam. It's like safety and happiness. Thank you. It's like peanut the butter. Thank you so very much. I kind of had to like um. I kind of had to like go back in time right now and relive that. General Jim Socks, hello. Safety and happiness. H, you have an amazing voice. What is your vocal octave range? I don't know. I don't know, and I appreciate that very much. You know, the interesting thing, the really funny thing, is that people like a couple years back, I'd say about 3 years back, Safety and Happiness, they're like, "Oh, you're fake, you're phony, you have the fake voice," and I'm like, I don't. For some reason, either my voice changed or it changes when I'm speaking within this mic. I have no clue why my voice has changed over the years somewhat. People very rarely people have said over the years, "Oh, your voice changed. You're just trying to pretend that you're like some announcer," but it's just natural, so I don't really know. But thank you, Safety and Happiness. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate it. I don't know. Thank you, Peanut the Butter. Thank you so very, very much. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting too because everybody here, Safety and Happiness, Peanut the Butter, everyone here, we're going to have an amazing November. And the future is bright. Like, I mean, think about the nightmare Democrats are going to have in November. They'll lose the House, they'll lose the Senate. Trump Republicans will take the House, take the Senate, and then Trump will launch his 2024 campaign with Trump Republicans. With Trump Republicans. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. Old Town. Thank you. And you'll have Trump Republicans backing Trump. The first time ever he's had a political party backing him. The first time ever he's had really backing in Congress. He never had backing in Congress. Trump never had backing in Congress. He never had backing in Congress. But Peanut the Butter, I do appreciate that very much. There's like, I am like, do you know like the hologram in, like, Save Us, Obi-Wan, Your Only Hope. What was that? Who is Princess Leia talking to? No, who is she talking to? Save us, Obi-Wan, you're our only hope. Was she talking to Obi-Wan Kenobi? It was in Star Wars. When she's a hologram that R2D2 um like shows. Stephanie, thank you. Who is Obi-Wan Kenobi, Tori, thank you. So okay, so I am like that hologram from 2016. You have to understand, you're seeing me now, but really, I am like in a way like 2016 was a political I don't want to say metamorphosis, but like a political sea change, paradigm change for me. And I saw what took place, and it's gotten worse over the years. So, Peanut the Butter, thank you so very much for bringing that up. It was a catharsis looking back, going back in time. But, you know, it's going to get worse. Everybody here, it's going to get worse. And be careful. Some dude 3, yes, thank you. Um, Eric, everyone here, Peanut the Butter, everyone here, be careful because it's going to Safety and Happiness. Love trucks. It's going to get worse. What I mean by that is I'm not going to get on Twitter, even with free speech being allowed, because um, it's a waste of time, but also the venom, the vitriol. I agree with you, B. Cal. The venom and vitriol and negative emotions that will be fostered and generated and conjured up and fabricated by Democrats on social media, by people that you know, you are going to see people, like, if they haven't already disowned you, you'll probably see people out of the woodwork say, you know what, I just, I can't, I, I don't want to be your friend anymore. You're voting for Trump, and Trump is just too horrible of a human being. And so these people don't know that Hunter and Joe engaged in almost certain graft and potential bribery schemes. Okay, they don't really know any criminal activity on their side of the political divide, which is rampant, because all they care about is corruption or the perceived corruption of Trump, even though they can't indict him. Trump has broken the will, the spirit of a lot of people on the left. You have to understand. I saw this also in a, and thank you for bringing up, peanut to butter. Thank you for bringing up Reddit. I saw it on Reddit. My articles were shared like every day on Reddit, every single day in the hit from the Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, and every day I would have hundreds of they'd have like hundreds of messages, like just people debating the articles or talking about the articles. Even the Bernie subreddit wanted to ban me, which is really hilarious. Because what I was doing is I was writing about how Bernie Sanders was the only chance Democrats had, which is the truth. And they cheated the only chance they had. Then they lost 3 Supreme Court justices to conservative justices that Trump appointed, because at that moment in time, Bernie Sanders at that very moment would have won. Now, Bernie is he's like, Trump is a million times better than Bernie Sanders. I didn't realize that then. I actually thought that Bernie Sanders was like the way Trump is taking on the establishment, taking on both corrupt political sides all at once. I mean, he's very heroic in many respects, Trump, and people don't really get it. They don't understand it. They don't realize what he's up against. They don't realize that Trump is against never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts and wars, and that Trump did in terms of the economy, Trump's policies directly correlated to a record low in unemployment, record highs in household median income. All the things that Democrats care about in terms of the working class or progressives or left-leaning or socialists, the working class had it much better. If you want to use that term, working class, they were far more financially stable under Trump in 2019 than they are now. And, you look and it's like, I guess getting back to my point, it's going to get worse. The emotions that people are going to feel this next cycle, you have to understand what happens when a wounded creature is cornered. Okay, Democrats will lose. It will be November. This November will be the same political defeat as November of 2016. Although November of 2016, even though Trump won the White House and defeated Clinton, November of 2016, he had Paul Ryan. He eventually, because of Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell, and never Trumpers, he had to deal with the Mueller probe. He never really had a government or a political party backing him. Even he was president of the United States of America. He didn't even have a political party backing him. This will be an even sweeter and even better victory, because it's not just Trump, it's Trump Republicans. You'll have Blake Masters, who will win in Arizona. He'll win in Arizona. Okay. So Blake Masters, the libertarian safety and happiness, thank you. Do my super chat. I can't do this without you, people. Thank you so much. I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding. Then that's the thing. And why do I bring that up? Nobody I'm sure people hear that and what is he talking about? It's like, same people in 2016 that said that they were going to go after the Democratic establishment, and they had that meltdown. They got $20 million in venture capital funding. Yvette Moore! Yvette! Yvette Moore! Thank you so very much. Well, what can I tell you, Yvette? Thank you so much. Thank you, Yvette, as always. Dr. Evil 814! Thank you, Dr. Evil. Trump is number one. He is. I appreciate your support, Dr. Evil. I do. And I appreciate your support always, Yvette. Thank you so very, very much. Yvette, speaking of what you mentioned, and Dr. Evil 814, thank you. Um, bro, that is going to get me thingy. Okay, hold on one second. Um, they don't like suspicion. Alan Harkin! Excellent show as always. It's nice to hear a normal person with a normal life saying truths with a bit of sense. Thank you so very much, Alan. Greatly appreciated. And I do appreciate your kind words and support. And I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you, Alan. Yeah, there's a great deal of freedom in just being an independent, not bound by a political party. You know, people say to me, Alan, they say, "Oh, how did you go from Bernie Sanders to Trump?" It's like, oh my God, there's a direct. Actually, it's actually more logical to go from Bernie Sanders to Trump than Bernie Sanders to Clinton or to mashed potato brains Joe. Um, but Alan, thank you. I'm reading this. I'm reading the chat. Yvette, thank you. Alan, thank you. Dr. Evil 814, thank you so very much. The issue is now with Alan and Dr. Evil and Yvette, to your point, the way Elon Musk is conducting Twitter now, there are no sacred cows. So when something is suspicious, when you distrust the official narrative, when something doesn't make sense, when 2 and 2 doesn't add up or things don't add up, when you know they're lying to you, when experts perhaps could be wrong. Derek! Thank you, Derek. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, Derek. When 2 and 2, Derek, thank you. When 2, some done 3, hello. The point is, Alan, Dr. Evil, and Yvette, and Derek, the issue is suspicion. With suspicious minds. Like the old Elvis song, okay? Suspicion. Democrats find it an abomination, an atrocity, if you show suspicion towards them, if you feel suspicious of them. The emotion is like something you cannot feel. You cannot experience or feel distrust, suspicion, or contempt. They'll allow disdain, maybe, but definitely not suspicion. And that's what, like, Twitter is now like a free speech platform. The House and Senate are now Trump Republican. Trump's going to launch his 2024 campaign. I mean, it's like the end of the world for Democrats. They basically bring on the ICBMs. Bring it. Don't sing it. Bring it. It's like it's the end of the world for them. Bad hombre, thank you. Thank you, bad hombre, thank you. Yeah, be here, everybody. November 8th, be here. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. Um, what they try and with government, you know, like these social media, Facebook and Twitter, what they aligned with government because Democrats have a foothold. Yvette, that's what happens when Yvette. Thank you, Yvette. As always, thank you to my viewers in Australia, Yvette, Paul, everybody here. Thank you, um, Yvette. Thank you so much. Um, suspicion is like what's taking place, ladies and gentlemen, in American politics is the following. I know it sounds boring, but it's really important, okay? Do they care about adventures? Alberta, Canada, hello! Adventures Back Road, thank you! In Alberta, Canada, greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much. What's taking place in American politics is that now you can be suspicious of Democrats. You can actually voice your um, disbelief in the official narrative, at least on Twitter, not on this platform, but on Twitter, you'll be able to voice your uh, you'll be able to dispute or refute official narratives. And this is the worst. This is the absolute worst thing that could happen to Democrats. Because unless they have an airtight, unless they have an iron grip over dialogue, unless they can control people's emotions, okay, at least, or control the certain negative sentiments, disbelief, distrust, suspicion. Unless Democrats can actually control the actual, so for example, Trump, according to Democrats, is a criminal, an absolute criminal, but they haven't found anything to indict him on. Okay. You could have easily indicted Madam Secretary on servers with top secret intel. I mean, easily. You couldn't even be a manager at McDonald's or an intern at Microsoft, or you couldn't go to Best Buy and just say, you know what, I'm going to just siphon. I'm gonna actually have my own server and siphon the corporate data onto that server. You couldn't do that. You couldn't. You think you could work at Apple and have your own servers siphoning corporate data? Of course not. Of course not. There's no way you could. And so the thing is, the Hunter story, the Hunter laptop story, and people say, oh, nothing's ever going to happen. Well, you're going to get an impeachment in 2023. You're going to get the polls showing that, see, Democrats are done politically. They have nobody on deck. Okay. People forget that, though they say Bill Clinton came out of nowhere. No, he didn't. Bill Clinton was an up and coming. He was governor of Arkansas, and he was growing in political clout within the Democratic Party. President Obama had a speech, a very important speech. Adventurous, thank you again. In 2004, and so he was, up and coming, and he was very, growing within the Democratic Party. There's nobody Democrats have nobody. They have nobody. That's why I say Hillary Clinton has to take it and run with it or walk with it, whatever. That's why I say Hillary is right there, and there's nothing to be ashamed of if she loses twice to Donald Trump. I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024. We have to exorcise the demons of 2016. Dan, hello. We have to exorcise the demons of 2016. And what better way than a Hillary Trump 2024? Think about that for a second. Think about Hillary Trump 2024 with Elon Musk running Twitter. I mean, can you find anything more amusing? Is there anything more amusing? Would you not be entertained? Because the way Democrats and Twitter, Rick, thank you. The way Democrats and Twitter have run things, it's like .com, hello. The way Democrats and Twitter have run things the past couple of years is somebody will write something, and then they'll put a disclaimer, caution, caution, caution. This is information that misinforms, meaning that we can make mistakes in terms of information and backpedal and backtrack and flip-flop and be wrong, but we won't misinform anyone. But if somebody misinforms, it's a big problem. Oh my god, big problem. That's why, like, I don't understand this hysteria over information that misinforms. What does it matter to you if you know the truth? Who are you or who are these people worried about? Who are Democrats worried about? People, they'll believe the wrong things. Well, who cares? That means they won't vote for you. Are you talking about Trump supporters? Because they will not vote for you ever. Are you talking about independents? Because they despise Democrats. Who are you talking about? Democrats will always vote Democrat no matter what. You can give them a Steele dossier, uh, diesel shortage, ICBMs flying above. They don't care. They don't care. This information that misinforms is so bad. Well, why is it so bad? What's so bad about it? I mean, nobody wants false information, but the way you combat false information is you explain in an eloquent, compelling, responsible manner. You give your vantage point in the form of a rebuttal or a counter argument. So what's the problem? I was like, you know what? I just don't want to be on Twitter anymore with Elon Musk because, well, there's so much information that misinforms. Well, then educate people. Who are you worried about? Who's the, like when they like the past 2 years also like, are you spreading information that misinforms? So can you prove that anyone lost their life? Can you prove that anyone's life was ruined? How about the official narrative that hurt people's lives? Could that have happened? Could the official narrative on things ruin people's lives? How about shutting down economic activity? How many lives were ruined? How many people had their jobs and their careers postponed or taken or ripped away from them? How many people had the official narrative harm them? And I mean, it's like we can't talk about things because, I mean, on Twitter, hopefully you can talk about anything, but you can't talk about things because you then foster distrust of the official narrative, which always correlates with the Democratic Party's viewpoint on things. Interestingly enough, isn't it interesting how the Democratic Party and the official narrative always coincide? Wow, that's fantastic. And yet they're always either spreading lies or information that misinforms, or there are like 20 to 30 stories, major stories, that were completely false and fabricated regarding Trump. So, exactly, Eric, exactly. Simple research, like when I was growing up, or just before 5 or 6 years ago, there was no such thing as this emphasis on information that could misinform people. It was not even a big issue. You had the internet, you had access to information. Wikipedia, by the way, is like it is basically like another extension of the Democratic Party in many respects. In many respects, what they'll do is they'll quote a BuzzFeed or Vice article or a Daily Beast article on somebody, but they won't quote a National Review article or a Federalist article or a New York Post or Daily. I mean, they might quote a New York Post or Daily Mail article, but it's like you have so many people being disparaged who have spoken the truth, and still they have institutions trying to ruin people's lives, and they're not even claiming. Here's the interesting thing: the people banned off of Twitter, they haven't been refuted. Nobody has ever stated that like, okay, the majority of the people banned, they don't state, oh, the information was false or fabricated. They'll say the information misinforms. It's taken out of context. You know what another way of explaining that is? It's an argument you don't like. It's an opposing viewpoint. That's actually like how a debate works. You're going to form an argument, make a claim based on facts that the opposing side disagree with you on. It's like a narcissistic way when they say, "Oh, it's information that misinforms." It's like the most. It's like a petty, paranoid, narcissistic way of saying, "Oh, an argument you disagree with. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting?" So with Trump, Trump is like a wrecking ball, which is like beautiful and hilarious, and sometimes, you know, concerning. Lisa, hello, but he's like a one man public relations army going up against the entire American public relations machine. And so he'll say, "What about Hunter? Okay, Clinton and the top secret intel." And you will have an army of fact checking. Oh my God. Oh my God. It still won't work because at the end of the day, Clinton did own servers. Hunter did pocket money, and so did Joe. And those emails are incriminating. And what's going to take place the next 2 years is that Democrats will be on the defensive. Twitter will not be a platform for them to control a narrative anymore. They are going to have to defend their corruption. They're going to have to actually say, no, Hunter didn't accept money. And Joe didn't meet with Hunter's business associates. Or they'll have to say, well, you know what? Even if Joe did, it's okay. And then they then fall into a rabbit hole of cognitive dissonance. So, I mean, it's not good for them. It's not good for them. What's going to take place, ladies and gentlemen, in the next 2 years is a complete paradigm shift. A complete paradigm shift. And now we have this. How this happens, I don't know. But U.S. diesel supplier, why the U.S. has a diesel shortage? Let's look at this. Oh, Lord. Okay. Why the U.S. has a diesel shortage. And by the way, to my super chat, thank you again. I can't thank you enough. Last week, the Energy Information Administration reported that distillate inventories were at the lowest level since 2008. The primary distillates are diesel, jet fuel, and heating oil. However, in 2008, levels were low coming out of the spring. Currently, levels are low going into fall. That's far worse. That's in a far worse situation than in 2008. Of course, it is. Demand generally spikes in spring when farmers are planting crops. Okay, so what's the reason? The loss of imports from you know where. The primary reason is the yet again we managed to um, ruin the U.S. economy because of an obsession Democrats have. And by the way, their obsessions are not about national security. So, JP, hello. Then you have CBS News. No, we're not going to run out of diesel fuel in 25 days. They always do this. They always like they always try to like Lord. They always try to correct the record. A major diesel a major diesel fuel supplier warned of an oil shortage on the East Coast Monday. And suggested that it could cause prices on a variety of consumer goods to rise in the near term. Well, of course it actually diesel runs the U.S. economy. Trucks, trains, cargo ships run on a certain type of diesel. The current limited supply, however, does not mean the U.S. run of diesel used to fuel in that time period. So this is interesting. Inventories of diesel are down, Lord, are down below 5-year average. And if the entire world were to stop, we would have 25 days of worth of diesel. But the world doesn't stop. We're not counting on it stopping. Okay, so you liken the situation to a grocery store's supply of milk at any given. Your grocery store may have an inventory of 3 days of milk, but that's only because they have 3 days worth at any given point. Um, okay, but we're supposed to not even be in this situation, even if that's true. Refining capacity under strain. Two obsessions of Democrats: shutdowns and their foreign policy. So they're like, they always do the same thing. They always do this with any type of commodity, like, oh, uranium is just a commodity. It's not that big of a deal. So what if, who owns 25% of U.S. uranium capacity, or 20%, sorry, of U.S. uranium capacity? They always do that. Angela Goodwin! I visited streaming from the best channel ever for airplanes, and it said 2,000 people watching, but only 7 talked. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Angela. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope all is well, Angela. Thank you. Thank you, Angela. Thank you so very, very much. As always, to my super chat, thank you. So, I mean, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a completely new paradigm. Okay. Um, Thank you, Angela. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Um, Biden came in. He tried to tried to protect the climate and decarbonize the economy. And they tried to do away eventually with fossil fuels. And then, of course, fossil fuels went up in price to record highs. So everything they didn't work out. Okay. And so now, according to the article I just read, well, we'll get enough diesel fuel to survive, but prices could go up, which which is going to hurt inflation, obviously, when prices go up. We shouldn't even be having a diesel fuel problem or a diesel fuel shortage. I mean, they've made it so difficult. Refineries. These are like, it takes 6-7 years to build, and billions upon billions of dollars. And it's like Democrats have stated they want to do away with fossil fuels. So it's like nobody wants to put their money in building more refineries. We only have, what, 13 or 10? Something like, I mean, this is the world's greatest economy. And what Democrats are doing is they're trying to make it so difficult that somehow we transform the economy. So difficult to utilize fossil fuels that somehow we're incentivized to transform the economy into running on technology we don't have yet. So it's like, it's completely backwards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I'm running out of steam, and you've been all very, very wonderful. Safety and happiness. Shelby, I love the smell of that. Safety and happiness thing. It's going to be amazing. The 9th is going to be amazing. I'll have a live stream in the morning, just like a live stream in the morning. I'll have 2 major live streams on that evening, and it's just going to be awesome. On November 8th, you got to understand, it's not just, see, it's November 8th, 9th, and then the rest of the couple of weeks when we're counting for Pennsylvania and possibly Georgia. So Herschel Walker will win in Georgia. And I can't imagine people voting for a recession or inflation. They keep on saying, like, oh, Trump Republican, so extreme. Again, it's always hearkening back to liberal sensibilities. It's not extreme if you feel that what's taking place is terrible. Angela Goodwin! Please bring back the farthing. We are now in a situation where farthings are worth 4 times more than when it ended. Then money does today, heading to zero below in Wazilla. Wow. The farthing, let's see. Angela, you are awesome. And I learn something new every day. Nice. Equal to a quarter of an old penny. Nice. Nice. Democrats will probably ruin the new farthing. They probably find some way to ruin it, Angela. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angela. Just looked it up right now. Former monetary unit and coin of the UK, withdrawn in 1961, equal to a quarter of an old penny. The least possible amount. Nice. Angela Goodwin, you are awesome. Thank you so much, Angela. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. To my super chat, Angela, everybody here. I cannot thank you enough. I can't thank you enough, everybody. Safety and happiness, as always. Thank you so much. Adventures, Event, Derek, Alan, Dr. Evil 814, Yvette, thank you again. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, and subscribe to H.A. Goodman's